Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And let's see if we can say hello to a few friends here this morning. Let's see if this device works. And here we go. Okay, as you're getting your notifications, good morning to you. Yeah, I think I might be able to say hello this morning. Okay. Okay, who's number one? Andrea, Niagara Falls. Right back at the top, Andrea. How are you? Brahim, right at the top. Lynn from Aurora. Good morning to you, Lynn. And Nellie, right there. Rosalinda, Niagara Falls. Lisa, good morning. Janice from Brampton. How are you? And Bonnie, Little Britain. Sandy, Fergus Falls, Minnesota. You're always near the top, Sandy. And another Sandy, right in the road from Chilliwack, British Columbia. Dennis, how are you? From Norwich. Danny Lay. Iron Bridge. Karen, Judy. Nativity. Wendy. Dave. Douglas, how are you? Marianne, good morning. I'm going to say hello to Kevin. Because he's going to blame me for something. Cheryl, West Virginia. Marianne, Helga, good morning. And Heather Miramichi. Lorraine, British Columbia. Donna, how are you? And Andrea says she's back in business. Bruno, how are you, my friend? Donna from Newfoundland. Gary from Bolton. Gail, good morning from Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Georgie, dear friend to this program, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Linda, we love Linda's. Vacationing in, where are you, Linda? In Punta Cana. How are you? Good for you. I hope you're getting your son. Janice, Ellen, Norma from Texas, Diane, Thunder Bay. Kathy, how are you? From St. Catharines. Elaine, Catherine, Patricia, Pulaski, Tennessee. I've always wanted to go to Pulaski, Tennessee. And did I say hello to you, Luella, already from West Tennessee? And Sandy and Arlene and Sandra from Ottawa. Good morning. There's Kevin. The mayor is on with us. Kevin, were you at the top or are you just late this morning? Frida. Heather. Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. Shirley. Vince, how are you, Vince? Wendy. John, Elgin, Illinois. Madeleine. Kippawa, Quebec. Etta. Sue. Francis from Vaughan. Carol. Donna, you guys, we love you. Lori, Marilyn, okay. Dave, good morning from Sinclair. Guys, how you doing? Okay, you know what? I forgot a few questions yesterday. I reviewed it. I said, oh, I got them all. But I missed a few, so I'm going to answer a few of those today. But let me just talk about vitamin D just for a minute. If you don't get our newsletters via email, okay? We send out a couple of newsletters just going into deeper dives on studies. If you didn't get that study, that new study on vitamin D this morning, you got to go and sign up, okay? Now, sometimes maybe it's in your spam or whatever. If you didn't get it, check that out. I don't. You know what I know, guys? Nothing. But I do know this. You're going to want to read our newsletters. We just put out extra information. Sometimes I can't get to all of it on our programs. But wasn't it an interesting study this morning? Let me just pontificate for a minute or two on vitamin D and heart attacks. how it cuts on heart attacks by 52% in this study. Vitamin D in your heart. Every cell in your body, my friend, has an antenna for vitamin D. It's looking for the sun. And it's so important to get your vitamin D levels. Now, someone asked this morning, because I saw it, because someone mentioned on the private Facebook group they really enjoyed the email, but someone asked, well, you didn't answer the question, how much should I take? Well, that depends, okay? It depends, and it's, when I was in practice, I could tell you exactly how much to take. Why? Because I knew your vitamin D levels. But listen, okay, and we make emphasis of this all the time. Vitamin D, I know the world, they're so scared of it, but it's so good for you. If you just get in the sun for 20 minutes, you get 10,000 IUs. How could that be toxic? How could that be toxic? Safely, what I take on a daily basis is between 5 and 10,000 IUs. Okay? I'll cut back in the summer when I don't need it. But, and you know what? The best thing that you can do, and I mean this, one of the blood tests, and I talk about it in Sun, Steak, and Steel, I talk about getting a blood test done of your vitamin D. Find out. You might have to pay for it. It's worth it. If you saw the research, and this in people that were under 40 NGML, that's American numbers of vitamin D, okay? Equivalent to 100 NMOL-L, Canadian numbers. Under 100 Canadian, under 40 American. Your heart's in trouble. Most people are under that. And what we recommend at the Martin Clinic, and what we recommend on the Doctors in Podcasting, not only to get tested, but to make sure your vitamin D levels are optimized from your brain to your toes, you need it. And this is a significant study on heart disease and having a heart attack. For heaven's sake, heart disease is still the #1 killer in our society today. It shouldn't be, but it is. We haven't even made a dent. And who would ever have thought that vitamin D is good for your heart? Well, I did. It's good for your brain. It's good for your heart. It's good for everything. Good for your immune system. It's not just for bones. Doctors, bones. Oh, and be careful. It'll kill you. It's so toxic. It's radioactive. No, it's not. No, it's not. And what we mentioned there, that when you hit 70, you're 4 times less likely to pick up vitamin D, or not less likely, just less amount of vitamin D that you can pick up off your skin. Sucks getting old, doesn't it? I'm in that group. But I measure and I monitor my vitamin D levels, and so should you, okay? And like I said, somebody asks me all the time, it's what I can tell you that I do. I can't tell you how much to take, but I can tell you how much I take, okay? 5 to 10,000 IUs every day, okay? Starting in September, right through till May, Canadian, because we only have a few months of summer, okay? I talked to a guy the other day, and I said, listen, You're out in the sun. You're getting your melatonin. Beautiful. Now I said, you want to know where your solar panels are? He didn't know this. I said, your arms, okay, these are solar panels, and your legs exposed to the sun. Shorts. Okay? Now you can't do that in the middle of winter in most places. So you need to supplement. And you can do both. And make sure your supplement of vitamin D contains vitamin K2. We talk about that. Okay. I just wanted to hit up that came out of the American Heart Association. Man, oh man. Very important. Okay. Roxanne wanted me to talk about the vagus nerve. Not Las Vegas. Your 10th cranial nerve. Well, Roxanne, I do talk about it because it's the connection between your brain and your gut. Okay? Your brain and your gut. It's your 10th cranial nerve, vagus nerve. And it's how your brain and your stomach talk to each other. You ever had butterflies? You're worried? You're worried. Ooh, okay? You're upset. Ooh. What happens? Well, your stomach, because your vagus nerve connects your brain to your stomach, you get butterflies. You get maybe even nausea. And your stomach's upset. What's that got to do with your emotions? A lot. Now listen, in your stomach, in your bowel, you have more serotonin there than you have in your brain. But there's a connection. They talk to each other through the 10th cranial nerve. Okay? And it's an important one. The vagus nerve. Okay? Got it? Okay. That was Roxanne. Okay, I think Catherine was asking about prostate, enlarged prostate. Well, join the cast of millions, and not for you, Catherine. Obviously, you don't have a prostate, but your hubby does. And I'll tell you, the number one thing that makes the prostate grow is estrogen, the womanly hormone. Because when men's estrogen goes up, their testosterone goes down. Their testosterone goes down. So one of the best things that you can do in terms of eating is eat a steak. Because steak elevates your testosterone. You want that, men. It's not, because testosterone is good for a man. And we don't have enough of it today. We have too much estrogen. As Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say, you're a girly man. You got the girly hormone. And that makes for a benign prostate growth. Okay, it doesn't have to be cancer. But for the very same reasons that women get breast cancer, men get prostate cancer. I've done this for almost 50 years. You know what I've said? Women, breast cancer, and men's prostate cancer are identical twins, one in the female population and the other one in the male population. And what we've seen in the last 50 years is breast cancer is out of control, guys. But so is prostate cancer. Breast cancer in women And 1 out of 5 or 6 women in their lifetime will be given a diagnosis of breast cancer. It's crazy. And over the age of 50, 1 out of 4 men. Okay, 1 out of 4 men will get prostate cancer. Why? Why have the numbers gone crazy? I'm a why guy. Why does that happen? I asked the question to myself, and I said, well, what's changed in the world? Estrogen. All the chemicals, all the fertilizers, all the pesticides, all the microplastic, everything mimics estrogen. We call them xenoestrogens. They're through the roof in the world today, and no wonder we have so much breast cancer and so much prostate cancer. Women, you need estrogen. 100% you need it. Men, you don't need it. But women, you need it. The problem is you got too much of it. Too much of it. And so, I don't like estrogen. We talked about this yesterday when someone asked a question on the Kennedy files, and that is, they've now taken the black box warning off of hormonal therapy. What do I think about that? Well, it's synthetic, and I think there's a better way. I want people, women to elevate their progesterone. Makes a huge difference for them. Okay? So what do I recommend? You got an increased prostate, dim it out. Dim that estrogen out. Really important. Okay? Really important to do that. Dim it out with dim and lignans, flax seeds. Really, really good to reduce the prostate. Okay? Really good. Antioxidants. That's why I love Navitol. It's a protector. It's a cancer protector of your cells. And prostate cells and breast cells. Down with the estrogen. Get your vitamin D levels up for every cancer, every benign tumor, or benign hyperplasia, which is, the growth of the hormone. It's normal, by the way, in men. As their testosterone goes down, their prostate's going to grow. I died the other night laughing. A guy on TV said, I was just dying the way he said it. He said, the only time I don't have to pee is when I'm peeing. That's a man's prostate. He can be up several times a night because of it. Okay? And women, your bladder. Okay? Estrogen. Too much. Okay. Thanks for that question. And that was Catherine about her husband. Right? Lucy was asking a good question about, and you know what? I think I'm going to put this with Kevin. I'm going to combine these two because Kevin makes a good point. He ends his question, but what's a fellow to do? I like that, Kevin. Now, I don't know if this is Kevin the mayor or another Kevin. Okay? I don't know. Wasn't told to me. But it's a good question because Kevin is asking, well, we live in a world where, Dr. Martin, you always talk about eggs, meat, and cheese, but unless they're, grass-fed, and Lucy's asking, what about, cheddar cheese and, the orange cheese and, listen, guys, this is really, really, really important, okay? It's the overarching principle of my thinking and the way I operate. Okay, so this is important. Kevin, Lucy, listen. Listen, Lucy. Not Linda, listen, Lucy. No, listen. In a perfect world, we'd all go back, living on a farm, having a cow in the backyard, no pesticides, no herbicides, no grain-fed beef, no chemicals. We would have milk coming right out of the cow, which is really cream. And we would have cheese, 100% natural and everything else. But here's the big but. We don't live in that type of world. So you have to understand where I'm coming from, okay? You have to understand where I'm coming from. The vast majority of people, they can't, okay? They might not have the means, they might not. I don't want, like for me, okay? There's good, better, best. Okay? Good, better, best. And if you lived in, you want to get everything organic. Everything. Your beef, your eggs, your cheese, your dairy, everything's organic. And you're growing your own fruits and vegetables. There's no herbicides, no pesticides, and yada, yada, yada. Great. I'm happy for you. And I mean it. But we don't live in that kind of world. Most people don't, and most people can't to some extent. So do you understand what I'm saying? It's better for you to eat a piece of meat, because some people they come after me about bacon. Dr. Martin, what about the nitrates? What about them? It's celery powder. What about it? Well, all I'm saying is this. It's still good for you. And it's so much better. We live in a world with the biggest problem in this world is not the lack of organic. It's insulin. It's sugar. It's all grains that are holding hands that are going to be, they're sugar molecules. It's the rapid breakdown of food in your body that drives insulin through the roof. And insulin resistance is at the root of all disease, including heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, obesity, fatty liver. So you have to understand, guys, I look at the big picture. And I didn't want people getting, I said, okay, here's the illustration I used to use in my office. You're on the Titanic. Don't worry about the deck chairs. Get off the boat or turn the boat around. Okay? So, and then afterwards, after you've turned the ship around and you haven't hit an iceberg, you're in clear waters, then you can start playing with the furniture on the Titanic, meaning that I'm going 100% organic. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I mean it. Okay? I'm going to buy a farm. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm going to raise my own chickens. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I mean it. I'm going to go out and get my eggs every morning. Good for you. I'm happy for you. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And I mean it. I love if you can do it, everything, But meat isn't bad for you. Any kind of meat isn't bad for you. It's better than having a granola bar, I can tell you that. And I still haven't found, by nutritionally measuring it, there isn't a fruit nor a vegetable that is as high in nutrition content. There isn't a fruit nor a vegetable in the plant kingdom that is as high as any piece of meat that you bring to me. Just check out the nutrition value of it. So you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, the cows and, they're being grain fed and, it's mass production. I get that. Antibiotics. I get all that. I get all that. But if you think your fruits and vegetables haven't been tainted, I'm telling you. Well, I mentioned this. I don't think I go a week by where I don't talk about plastic, microplastic. It's in everything. It's everywhere. You're accumulating it every day, whether you like it or not, whether you live in Costa Rica on your own island or you're on a holiday in Punta Cana. We don't live in that type of world. We just don't. Now, I want you to be very cognitive, very, very conscious of what you're looking at in food, and there's better of everything. Like I say, good, better, best. If you can get to the best all the time, I'm on your side. But like I said, I always wanted people to get the big picture first of their health. They were in such trouble, and they didn't know it. When I did all their biomarkers and all their blood work, and we found out that their insulin was through the roof, insulin resistance, inflammation markers, their vitamin D was low, their B12 was low. They were in deep doo-doo. And I wanted them to focus on turning the ship around. And thus, in terms of food, it was eggs, meat, and cheese. Cheese meaning butter, cheese meaning dairy, cheese meaning everything but grocery store milk. Stay away from it 100 miles. And A1 or A2, it's just, you don't need to drink. You don't drink it. Okay? You drink water and coffee. Okay? There you go. Thanks for the question. That was Lucy. And Lucy was asking about monk fruit. Yeah, I got no problem with it. I got no problem with it. Not going to elevate your insulin, as far as I know. So that was Lucy and Kevin. What's a fellow to do? I'm glad you asked, guys. It's a good question to ask that. Okay? And I'll push back. I push back against people that have given up on eggs, meat, and cheese because they think it's not good for them, and they live on the plant kingdom. They're making a big boo-boo. A big boo-boo. They're not right about that. And I push back all the time. Okay? And even if I'm John the Baptist in the wilderness, alone, doing it, I'll do it. Because they're not right. Okay. That was good. Judy was asking about NAC, the amino acid L-cysteine. Look, as far as I know, I'd have to look it up. This has been a couple of years now that you can't even get it in Canada unless you have a prescription for it. I don't think you can get it in the States either. I'd have to, someone clarify that. You want to take it NAC as a supplement? I don't think you can get it, can you? It seems to me that the FDA pulled it and that you couldn't get it because it's a drug. They use it as a drug, even though it's natural. Okay? And you know what they use it for? At least this is years ago, for acetaminophen poisoning, Tylenol. Too much Tylenol. A lot of people get very sick from too much Tylenol. And they get very unwell, and they give them NAC. But somebody that knows more than me, I should have looked it up, but I didn't. But what I do remember is that they pulled it. You couldn't get it as a supplement. So maybe look on Amazon if you can. Would I recommend it? I don't know. Why? Unless you're being poisoned by, I think there's better antioxidants than that. Okay, for me personally. Anyway, that was a good question, Judy. Okay, anybody else? I think I got all the questions. I hope I did this time. Okay. And then we talked about the vitamin D today. Okay, we got a great week, guys. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't even talked about. I meant to get at them last week and I never did. Okay. We love you dearly and sincerely. What an audience. You guys are so great. Have I talked to you about my book recently? Have I talked to you about our book? Rebuilding Your Temple? I am going to do a little teaching on that tomorrow, I think, because I've got one here. Just sort of pulled it out of the book. Why don't we talk about that? It's blending in a 30-day devotion. You'll love it, guys. I mean it. Blending health and spiritual health, emotional health, putting them together in a devotion. I think you guys will love it. I really do. You won't be disappointed. Makes a great gift. If you want to sign up ahead of time, go to martinclinic.com. Very easy. martinclinic.com. Sign up for the book. Thousands have already. The first print's going to be going very fast. Okay? Very fast. We know that because of all the people that have signed up already. We love you. Talk to you soon.